Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Courage Permission Slip. I am your host, Kea, and I am really excited to finally be starting this show. The idea to do this show, and not necessarily Courage Permission Slip, but I have been craving having conversations with people who were making big shifts, big moves in their lives that required some kind of bravery or courage to overcome the fears that they have been experiencing. And I've been wanting to have that conversation with people for a really long time, but all along the way, I have talked myself out of it. I have let other people talk me out of it. And the time just came where I felt like I couldn't hold off doing this any longer. It felt like the time was right. I've been having so many conversations with not only with clients, but people who come to events that I speak at. And the overarching theme is people aren't taking steps forward because the fear has become too big. The fear has become more important than the thing, the idea, the goal, the vision that people have. And it can be a big thing like starting a business, or it can be small things like shifting their relationships or taking a step towards that hobby that they have always wanted to do. And so I felt like the time was finally right to start having conversations with people who inspire me, who encourage me, or who I just believe are making big moves and doing things that are really exciting and interesting and thought provoking. And I wanted to bring those conversations to you because I know that there is someone who is listening or watching this who has an idea, who has a goal, who has a vision on their heart, but you're not doing it because that fear that you have, the doubts, that inner critic that keeps coming up has become more important, bigger than, more powerful than your idea or your goal or your vision. So I wanted to bring the conversations that I've been having with people in my own circles who are doing bold and courageous things. I wanted to bring those conversations to you so that you can hear stories of other individuals who are doing amazing things with their lives, with their careers, and doing it afraid. They're feeling the fear and they're doing it anyway. And my hope is that you will hear a conversation, or you will hear a tip, or you will hear something that someone leans on in order to keep moving forward, even though they feel afraid. My hope is that if you're feeling nervous about something that you want to do, that these stories will inspire you, or that you can lean on the courage and the perseverance and the resilience that these individuals that I'm going to be talking to, you can lean on that until your courage can kick in. You're going to hear something that's going to give you the spark of an idea. It's going to motivate you to get out of your chair and just take one little step, just one, right? Like, we're not talking about throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and you're going to hear this come up a lot. We're going to talk about taking one little step that you can take to get just ever so closer to the dream, the idea, the goal, the vision that keeps coming to you, but you're not doing anything about it because your fear is too big. The stories that you're telling yourself about why you're not ready, why you can't do that thing, why you shouldn't do it, um, you know, being worried about the expectations that people have of you or what they're going to say. My hope is that these stories that you hear and these conversations that you're going to listen into, that they will move you to take that step and start moving ever so closer to that dream and that vision that you have for your life and your career. So, my what you can expect over the course of this show is it's mostly going to be conversations that I'm going to have with other people. Every now and again, I will do a solo episode just like this, where I'm introducing a concept to you, or maybe recapping big lessons that I have heard and that I'm learning from these interviews that I'm doing. But more than not, you're going to be hearing conversations from bold, powerful, inspiring, fun, interesting people throughout the course of this show. So I hope that you will follow along, that you will subscribe, that you will share, um, download all the things that happen on YouTube and in the podcast world, and that you will savor these conversations, that you will savor the lessons and the guidance and the advice and the triumphs and the victories that people are having and moving forward on every day, even though they feel nervous. And that this show will serve as your very own courage permission slip to make your dreams and your ideas and your goals bigger and more important than your fears. So I want to thank you in advance for following along, listening, watching, wherever you are taking this content in. I thank you in advance for being a part of this community, for being a part of the conversation, for listening in. And I hope that something that you hear will inspire you and motivate you, encourage you, and empower you to keep moving forward and feeling the fear, but doing it anyway. So, with that, I will turn you over to the episodes that will follow. And I would love to hear from you in the meantime. So, thank you for listening and watching. And I hope you enjoy Courage Permission Slip.